Hi, this is Steve, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how you can make your tracking links more flexible. So as you start using your tracking links, you'll find that there are times where you want to use the same tracking link in multiple locations, and yet you're going to want to track each of those locations separately. And the way you do that is with sub IDs. And so in this video I'm going to show you what sub IDs are and how you can use them effectively. So take, for example, you're creating a series of training videos for a product that's not yours. You're just an affiliate marketer, but you're creating a series of YouTube videos, and in the description of every video you want to have a tracking link that leads off to the opt-in page for that affiliate product. Well, you wouldn't want to create a separate tracking link for each video because that can be tedious. Instead, you can use a single tracking link with a sub ID that shows which specific video that link came from. So that's one example. Another example is, let's say that part of your process is that you send an email to your mailing list every single day. And at the end of that email, there's always a call to action that takes them to your opt-in page. Well, if you're sending out an email every single day, again, that can be tedious to create a separate tracking link to go to exactly the same opt-in page. So again, here's another use where using a sub ID would allow you to use a single link with an additional piece of information that tells you where that link came from. So let's go ahead and take a look at how this works. It's actually pretty exciting and pretty easy to do. So first, let's go to the links menu. And in this example, I'm going to be using drinking water that's made from the snows of Antarctica. So let's go ahead and take a look at the affiliate link for this. Now here's our tracking link, and you can see that I'm currently using the default tracking link, clickmagick.com, with my username, Steve. Now because I'm going to be using this in email, I'm going to change my tracking link to use a custom tracking domain. I'm going to use the one that I set up in a previous video, track.bestcoolproducts.com. And for my link ID, I'm going to use Snowwater, and I'm going to save these changes. Now, if you're not familiar with why you should be using a custom tracking domain when you use email or Facebook or other social media, I'm going to have you go back up to the dashboard here. I'm going to have you click on email tracking or Facebook tracking. Let's click on email tracking, read through the FAQ, and watch one of these two videos right here because they will walk you through and explain why, as a marketer, you never want to use a link that a lot of other marketers are using because all it takes is one unscrupulous marketer to blacklist a link. So if you use a custom tracking domain, you're always safe, and it's very easy to set up. So just go to this FAQ, follow what it says, and you can have a custom tracking domain up in a matter of minutes. So let's go back up to our link. And here we'll come back down to Antarctic Snowwater, and let's preview where that affiliate link goes. And here you can see it pulls up an opt-in page. People can enter their email. They can press the Buy Antarctic Snowwater Now. And now that we have an opt-in page that we can use in many places, let me show you how you could use this in YouTube, and let me show you how you can use it in an autoresponder with a sub ID. So first, let me show you what the format for a sub ID is. Let me go back up to the links. We'll go open Antarctic Snowwater. Now here's the tracking link. So let me just go ahead and copy this. I'll open a new tab, and in the URL bar, I'll just paste the tracking link. Now to add a sub ID is very simple. We just go over to the tracking link, and we add a / and then some descriptive text. So for this example, since we're talking about Antarctic Snowwater, I'm just going to use the word penguin. And I'm going to hit return. Here we see the opt-in page. Now let's go back to ClickMagick and let's take a look at our statistics. If we go ahead and refresh, here we see there are 2 clicks. So let me click on the total click column, and this will give a breakdown. And it says for the primary URL, we have 1 click that was none. There was no sub ID. That's the click we made at the start of the video. And then we have 1 click that went with a sub ID of penguin. So we can see that we have our total statistics in this line up here, and then we have our breakdown of our sub IDs here. Now let's take a look at a couple more examples. Let's go up to YouTube here. Have a video here of why drink Antarctic Snowwater. And here we have our tracking link, track.bestcoolproducts.com/snowwater. But if somebody clicks on this link, we don't know where it came from. So let's go ahead and add a sub ID on here. Let's add / and let's call this why drink, just so we know that it's that. And actually, why don't we go ahead and put something in front of it? Why don't we put YT- to indicate YouTube? And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and save that change. And here's the video. So let's go down and let's click on Show More. And we can see the link here truncated, but if you look at the lower left-hand corner, you can see the full tracking link with the sub ID. So let's go ahead and click on this. Now we have the capture page again. Let's go to Click Magic and update the statistics. Click on Total Clicks. And now you see we have the YouTube wide rank that shows 1 click. So if you have a series of YouTube videos, you can arbitrarily add YT dash and then a description. You can do whatever you want here. There are a few characters you can't use, and again, I'll get to those in a minute. But by using sub IDs, you can track very closely where your clicks are coming from using a single tracking link. Now let me give you another example that could prove very valuable to you if you're doing email marketing. So let's go ahead and go up to MailChimp. This is an autoresponder. And here I have a template of a message that I would send out to my email list every single day. And I would include a different message in the body right here where it says insert today's message. But then the rest of the body is fixed. And you can see here it's got a little logo here, Antarctic snow water. And you can see down here in the PS, to grab your case of Antarctic snow water made from the purest of Antarctic snow, just click here. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the click here. I have to edit the box. Now here's our paragraph in the editor. You can see the click here is highlighted. It's a link. So let's go ahead and click in it. Next, let's click on the link setting. Now we see that the link that's in our PS is the basic tracking link that we've been seeing. And so if we send out a series of emails over a number of days, we won't know which email they're actually clicking on. So what we can do is we can use a sub ID. So I can put a slash, and MailChimp, like most autoresponders, has a way for you to automatically insert the date. And it's different with every autoresponder. But for MailChimp, it uses the form with a star and a vertical bar, the word date, and then it expects a date format. So what I'm going to use is D, which is a double-digit day, with a dash, then M, which is a double-digit month, a dash, and then Y, which is a double-digit year, vertical bar, and a star. Now from this point forward, every time this email goes out, the sub ID is going to be that day's date, day-month-year. So then we go into Click Magic and we take a look at the statistics. We can see which emails are pulling and which ones aren't. And if a specific email has a lot of click-throughs, then what you can do is you can go ahead and send that email out again to the people that didn't open it, or just send it out slightly modified to people that did open it, whatever you want to do. But it's great knowledge to have. And again, it would come in right up here. You would just refresh and you would see the dates listed right here. So using sub IDs is a very powerful way to do it. The other thing I want to mention is that you can have more than one sub ID. You can actually have up to 5 different sub IDs. You just keep putting slash sub ID slash sub ID slash sub ID. There is an FAQ on this topic. We'll go to the help menu and choose FAQs. In the search box, we'll type sub ID, search the FAQs. We'll go down here. Can I use sub IDs with my tracking links? The answer to that is absolutely. Here's the FAQ. This goes through and it explains exactly what I've already shared with you. This shows you how to use more than one sub ID. You just put one after the other. And if we scroll down a ways, you can see that these are the symbols that you're allowed to use. Hyphens, underscore, periods, just on down this list. Now, one caution I want to give you is if you use a sub ID that looks like a cost value, like 0.5, ClickMagick won't view it as a sub ID. And if it's a simple number with 5 or 6 digits, that will be treated as either a rotator or link ID. So my advice is just stay away from simple numbers if you're trying to use it as a sub ID. Instead, use a word or use a hyphen, use some symbol in there, and that's exactly why I put hyphens between the parts of the date in the MailChimp example. So that's how you can format your sub IDs effectively. There's one last point that I want to make here, and that is that you can pass sub IDs onto your primary URL. So let me show you how to do that. If we go back up to the link, and we go down and we choose our Antarctic snow water link, and we come down to our primary URL. Now, in some cases, what you'll want to do is instead of using a sub ID to track where your clicks are coming from, you'll want to use a sub ID to pass information onto your primary URL. So, for example, with Antarctic snow water, they might have a product variable where they want you to pass it in whether you're interested in a bottle, a case, or maybe even a pallet. And they have the format, and they specify it as typing a question mark, prod equals, and then you put the word bottle, case, or pallet. And in this case, we want to pass it in. So in Click Magick, the way you do that is you use a token, and there's an FAQ that lists all the tokens that you can use, and the token for the sub ID number 1 is simply angle bracket S1 angle bracket. So let me go ahead and save changes and show you how that would work. Let's go ahead and open the link again. Let's copy the tracking link. Let's open a new tab. And now let's paste in that tracking link. Now here's what we want to do. We're going to put in sub ID 1, and we're going to put in the word bottle, case, or pallet. And so all I'm going to do is type a slash, and I'm going to type the word case. Now you can see we have our custom tracking domain, we have our link ID, and we have our sub ID of case. Now let me hit return. Here we have our opt-in page, and you can see up here that it's passed in the value, prod equals case. It has replaced that token with the sub ID number 1. That's how you use the tokens. So you can put those tokens anywhere you want in your URLs or in your split test URLs, because this all works with split testing as well. This is the way you would do it. Now let me go ahead and show you the FAQ where you can find all the tokens, and then we'll wrap this video up. Here we go. We'll click on Click Magick. We'll go over to the Help menu, choose FAQs. Again, we'll type sub IDs. We'll click Search FAQs. And it's right here, what data can I pass to the URLs I promote? If you click on that, you'll see the list of all the tokens right down the side here. There's actually many more tokens than that. You should go ahead and read through this. And again, it talks about exactly what I showed you right here, an example of how to pass a sub ID to a URL. So in this video, I've shown you how to use sub IDs in a way that allows you to use a single tracking link to track multiple sources. I've shown you how to use sub IDs to pass data onto your primary URLs, and I've given you a few examples of how and when you could effectively use these techniques. So if you have any other questions, feel free to contact us at our help desk. We'll be sure to answer those for you. This is Steve with Click Magick. Have fun playing with sub IDs.